I am livid. He even looks like him as well, the bald idiot. Spends the whole game committing war crimes over on the left wing. Just drove me closer and closer and closer to the edge. Right, hello everyone. Welcome to the Funhouse. AKA the Golden Sky Liverpool have just served us up the worst night of football you have ever seen in your life. If you are interested in ruining your day at the end of it, waiting all the way till the end of the night. It's almost your birthday, by the way, as well. Spoiler alert, it's almost my birthday. And Liverpool make you wait until the end of the night there to serve you up the worst performance of your lifetime. You're waiting for your birthday meal, they serve you up a plate of literal human shit on a plate. If that's what you wanted tonight, you got it, my friends. That's the worst thing I've ever seen, ever in the world. And I had Twitter for a very long time. So that is how I'm going to start tonight's match ratings. These are the player ratings for Liverpool's inexplicable 2-1 defeat to Wolves. I am fucking raging. Let's make that clear. I am raging. These people made me dye my hair this season for that. It's a joke. It's an absolute joke. I'm going to swear a lot in this one, so if you're not cool with that, I apologise in advance, because I am livid. Livid. And to be honest, these ratings are going to be half an hour or so of pure therapy just for me. So if you want to strap in for the ride, strap yourself in. Make sure you use an industrial level goddamn seatbelt, because it's going to be bumpy, ladies and gents. Here are the bunch of clowns that played in that game for the Mickey Mouse Reds. That's what they are. And here's the Muckery Index. Okay, where should we even begin today with that? Where should we even begin? Well, let's start maybe with my favourite duo, the commentators. Oh, Ali and Fletch were back tonight. Fletch spent 95% of the second half naming all the Gomez's on the pitch. Fletch, mate, me and you, I am gonna shoot myself in the mouth with a double barrel shotgun if I have to listen to you list the Gomez's that are on that pitch for the fourth pissing time in a row in the space of 30 seconds. I am going to get my ears and just rip them straight out of my skull. Eardrum, just rip it out. I can't listen to you anymore. At one point in the first half, which admittedly was the most boring shit I've ever seen in my life, they started talking about dinosaurs. I mean, that's where we were. Diplodocus, Brachiosaurus, Triceratops, Ankylosaurus, you name it, Fletch and Ali were talking about it. We were listening to the Fletch and Ali podcast all game long. Fletch especially was on top form tonight. He just drove me closer and closer and closer to the edge until finally, when he started naming Gomez's, I wanted to just drive my car straight off a cliff that never ended, and I just fell endlessly to my death with impending doom just forever and ever and ever. That's how Fletch made me feel tonight. They were advertising the Paralympics tonight. I swear to God, I would rather watch that endlessly than watch that crock of nonsense tonight. So that was Ali and Fletch. They just barely commentate ever. They just talk, waffle the whole game long, and it drives me insane these days. They just kept talking about Joe Gomez might score a goal. He's never, ever, ever gonna score. He's crap at attacking. Oh, guys. So that's Ali and Fletch. Right. Then, at the start of the game, Wolves played Hi-Ho Wolverhampton at 5 million decibels sound. It was ridiculous. They kept muting it so then Wolves can go, Wolverhampton. Oh, fair play to Wolves, honestly. I've got no beef with Wolves. I quite like them as a club, honestly. And fair play to them tonight. I want to make that clear before we get into it. They 100% deserved that win. I don't care what the stats say. We were despicable tonight. Despicable Me 8, or whatever movie they're on now, with Gru and his pissing minions. That was us out there tonight. Arne Slot's Gru on the fucking side. He even looks like him as well, the bald idiot. And then all these little minions are knocking around on the... What? Does anyone know any of their names? I don't even know. They're all crap. Just little yellow blobs. Cowardly knocking around on the pitch. And then the referee, who I'd never seen before, but he shares my name, so that's unfortunate for me because he was absolutely dreadful. Is he actually... Can he see? Have we made sure that he has the ability to see things? When was the last time he went to an optician's? Because I'm not convinced he can. I mean, there were about 4 times tonight at the end, though, where our players were getting manhandled like they were in the WWF in the 80s, shooting up steroids. Literally manhandled. And this knob is knocking around, just rolling around with his arms pumping. It's a foul, mate. Not to mention that the one fella, when Salah crosses it in, and he UFC elbow strikes the ball away like he's Brock Lesnar. Just elbow strikes it. And the ref says, in about 0.1 of a second, now that's fine. VAR says, all clear. Play on, here we go. Well, guess what? VAR, you can fuck off. Referee, you can fuck off. Everyone, I'm not having it tonight. The Muckery Index is easy. It's as dirty tonight. Oh, put me in all caps, for God's sake. As Brock Lesnar's pigsty. And he does live on a farm. The dirtiest of the dirt tonight. Elbow swings and mud and dirt. Just an absolute disgrace tonight by Liverpool. So, wow, I can't wait to rate these players. Oh, here we go, everyone. I just can't wait. Right, Alisson. I've been saying all season long, he can't kick the ball properly anymore. I don't know what's going on. He suddenly can't kick it. And Curtis Jones decides, I've not even got him on the frigging screen, have I? I'll put him on at the end, Curtis Jones. That's how crap he was. Alisson, I'll give you this ball. And then Alisson does the worst kick you've ever seen, ever in your life. I swear to God, my grandma has no hips, and she could have kicked that ball harder and further than Alisson did. Straight to Andre, who, the funniest part of all of tonight, the funniest part of it all, we scouted for months and months and months when he played for Fluminense. Months and months. There was loads of reporting about this. We scouted him, we never signed him. He plays 60 games for Wolves. Tonight he scored his first goal in the last minute after being an absolute shithouse all night long with his stupid moustache. So that was brilliant. Other than that, Alisson had literally nothing to do all night long, and I mean nothing. I think, did Wolves have 2 shots, or did they get 3 registered when that fella chipped the ball? Either way, we conceded basically every time they had an attack, which was barely any at all. Alisson gets a 1, because that kick was a disgrace, and I'm not happy tonight, guys. I'm not happy at all. Frimpong, do you know what? Frimpong played in the period of the game that was... Honestly, if anyone has... What's it called when you can't sleep? I've forgotten. What's it bloody called? Insomnia. It's called insomnia when you can't sleep. If anyone's got that, or anyone needs relaxing, or just wants to doze off for a little while, don't play rain sounds or white noise or whatever. Just watch the first half and the first 25 minutes of that second half, lads, and you will fall right asleep. You'll have the best sleep of your life. You'll be like Sleeping Beauty as a result of watching that. Honest to God, I'm watching it. I'm like Tom and Jerry in the cartoons. I've got to tape me bloody eyes open like this. I'm knocking around with my eyebrows taped to me bloody scalp. It was an absolute bore fest, and Frimpong played in that portion. When he went off, shit just hit the fan like you wouldn't believe. It was as though Guy Fawkes had actually completed his plan and everything just blew up everywhere. It was an absolute disgrace how boring it was, and then the pandemonium at the end, which just led to what is now the feeling of eternal sadness. So Frimpong, you're having a 5 tonight. And we'll go to Konate. Oh, well, this was a good one from Konate tonight. I'm getting myself comfy for this one, guys. Because Konate tonight was playing pretty well. Things were going all right. And then, from out of absolutely nowhere, the ball goes long. And Konate, maybe he heard Fletch and Ali talking about dinosaurs, and he thought, you know what, I'll do my best dinosaur impression. And I'll just leg over here for a laugh, pretending to roar. Because he just runs... Why on God's green earth does he run over to Van Dijk for that first goal? Where is he going? Where on earth is he going? Why does he run over there? I'll never understand that in my entire life, ever. There's no plausible explanation why he runs over in that direction. I don't know. And then we'll talk about what happens with the other bit of that move with Van Dijk when we get to Van Dijk in a second, not to steal his thunder. But Konate, he just went walkabout like a dog that had been let off his leash. He just went flying around the neighbourhood. But except it's not a neighbourhood, it's bloody Molineux, and he left his position as wide open as something that's open. A 24-hour Mackey's, mate. That's what it was. It was an absolute joke. I don't know where he was off to. And you just can't make mistakes like that because they scored and it's cost us 3 points. And if we get Europa League, I am going to actually never stop crying. I can't listen to Thursday nights, Europa nights. I can't do it, guys. It's traumatic. I can't do it. I can't. It's going to have to be a 2 for Konate. It's because he did all right until that treacherous mistake. And then we'll go to Van Dijk, who could not have had an easier game. Not possible. Adam Armstrong was up front. I'm losing my voice as well, guys, here. I can already feel it. Adam Armstrong was up front for 70-odd minutes of that game, and I swear to the Lord, to all the gods that there are ever created or ever believed in, ever thought up, ever written, I swear to them all, every last one, okay? Even the fictional ones in stories, I swear to them all. That Adam Armstrong today for Wolves did less work than I did today. Right? And I'm deadly serious. And he got paid more than I probably will make this whole year. And that makes me really depressed. But when he got brought off, Van Dijk, he didn't even need a shower. It was just simple as it gets. Like the fucking meerkats on Compare the Market. They would have been more threatening than Adam Armstrong today. And they bring on Tolu, who, he's essentially just a massive fella. That's essentially what he is. He can't play football. He's just a big bloke, right? And he comes on, he gives Van Dijk a little nudge, right? When the ball goes long, Van Dijk starts cry-arsing for a foul. It's never a foul in a billion trillion years. Not since the cavemen have been on Earth is that a foul. And even before that, by the way. And then Tolu controls the ball, and I'm not making this up, with his cock, just straight up nutsacks it down, brings it down on the balls, lays the fella in. Konate's pretending to be a fucking Allosaurus on the left wing, going to show the bench his dinosaur impression. And next thing you know, it's 1-0 to Wolves, and I wanted to die. So Van Dijk tonight, he was slightly better than Konate. Oh, and he should have scored that header at the end. How he misses that header, I don't know. When Rio put the ball in at 1-1 and he has the header, he might have been offside. It was very close, but he heads the ball straight at the goalie. I mean, it couldn't have gone straight at him. He's got to score it. So, what? 3? I think 3. And that might even be nice. Kerkez, I don't know why he got brought off, to be honest. We brought Robbo on, who's about as threatening as in an attack as a marshmallow. There's no threat when Robbo comes on. But Kerkez was on. He wasn't great either, let's be honest. The maddest... Kerkez just seemingly is just growing his hair in any which direction it'll possibly grow. And that's probably the funnest part of the whole game today, was that. Watching Kerkez's hair bounce around, all his little curls just bouncing. He's looking like Ravishing Rick Rude at the minute. And if you don't know Ravishing Rick Rude, give him a Google. He had probably the best mullet I've ever seen. If you can even call it a mullet, but it looked like Kerkez's do at the minute, and that was the best part of the game. Everything else was just sadness and misery and melancholy. Why did he even come off? Was he in the red zone? Was he in the red zone, Arna? Because if he was, what zone is Gakpo in, my friend? What zone is he in? He must be in the blood red Ron Burgundy zone. Kerkez, 4. Not great. Gravenberch. Oh, this was a great performance from Gravenberch tonight. If what you wanted to watch was, instead of a footballer, just an MMA fight. We'll get to that more later on. My God. He just spent the whole half whacking players. The whole half. Foul after foul after foul after foul. Nowhere near the ball, ever. I don't know where he's standing. I need to look at this in the video that I've unfortunately got to do later this week, analysing that absolute load of shite. But Maka and Gravenberch were both competing to see who could stand furthest away from a Wolves midfielder. And I think Gravenberch won. He didn't get close to a Wolves midfielder the entire half. Not even in the same stratosphere, the same planet. He was on Pluto, which, as far as I'm concerned, is that still a dwarf planet? I don't know. It seems to flip-flop between planet and dwarf planet every second Sunday. So Gravenberch, he might as well have been stood on it as it changed. It wouldn't have made any difference. He was nowhere near, and he just kept fouling, giving the ball away. And then, you know it's bad when Arne Slot has to bring Gravenberch off at half-time, because he loves Ryan Gravenberch. He loves him like you wouldn't believe. And then he brought Jones on, who played the whole half, and I forgot. That's how bad Jones was when he came on. Oh, God. He's just... Gravenberch, he was just awful. I don't know how much it's his fault. He never showed for the ball, hardly. Oh, God. One. Rubbish. Absolutely awful. McAllister, well... I couldn't really tell how McAllister played tonight, to be honest, because, again, he was standing just nowhere near anywhere. God knows where he was actually supposed to be. He did make a few tackles, though. I'll give him that. In the first half, he made a few interceptions, a few tackles. He competed. I can appreciate it, because it's more than anyone else did in that middle tonight. I tell you that much for free. Unfortunately for Maka, though... Oh, God, my voice is gone, guys. I'm going to have to cough. Apologies. McAllister, at one point tonight, he's breaking away. See what Liverpool have done to me? I'm a mess. He's breaking away. And you think, we've got a counter-attack here. But it's like watching a counter-attack in reverse when McAllister has the ball. And then someone from Wolves was dead rude and sniped him. I mean, that's rude. He's not going anywhere fast anyway. If you're going to snipe someone, don't make it McAllister. It's like cheating. It's like doing the game on easy mode. They sniped him. He fell over and then he couldn't move. He was seemingly paralysed. He got straight back up and he just stood still until the Wolves player tackled him and then he pretended to be injured. So that was ace. Nice one, Maka. He kept doing it after that. Every time he got the ball, he'd just stand dead still. Dead still like Black Beatles was playing. What are you doing, my friend? Is he having the game of musical statues out there? It looks like it. What a disgrace. What do I even give him? 2, I think. Rubbish. Awful. That might be harsh. All I can see right now is a blaze of hellfire and brimstone in the mind. And then Szoboszlai. I mean, he's been the only good thing, really, consistently about Liverpool's season, this season, the whole way through. And tonight, he rocks up like Ronda Rousey before a UFC fight, or Ron Swanson after he's got back with Tammy 1. If you know that reference, you're a real one. Braided his hair. I hate it with all my heart. And if I hate it on Szoboszlai, you know it's bad. And no, before all of you say, I will not be braiding my hair. I'm not even sure I'm allowed. I'm not even sure Szoboszlai's allowed. But he's done it. And there we go. That's what we've got to live with now. That's the world that we live in. Dominic Szoboszlai has braided his hair and seemingly lost his ability to take a corner. Because, oh my sweet Lord in heaven, those corners tonight that he took, every single one went straight to the front post, straight for Wolves to clear. That is just brilliant. Honestly, it's like torture. It's genuinely like torture. It's as painful to watch as I imagine it would be to hot wax my ball sack. It really is. It's just, I can't do it. He had a shot from 500 yards out tonight, and I was pleased about it. That's how bad our attacking is. I was pleased. I thought, well, that's probably a good outcome from our attack. A Szoboszlai shot from literally Birmingham Stadium. St Andrews, that's called. I don't know what to say about Szoboszlai today. Did he do anything good? I can't really remember. I'm giving him a 3. I can't even type it. 3. Oh my God. Then Salah. Where do I even begin? Right. He scored a goal. Let's start there. He scored a goal. He finally got to the end of his longest goal drought for Liverpool. It's a miracle. Because other than that, He was so bad, I can't even put it into words. I genuinely cannot even put it into words. I've been watching recently that figure skater from the US, yeah? She's called Alisson, right? She's boss. Okay, I've been watching her performance. I didn't know of her existence about a week ago, but the Winter Olympics has sucked me right in. I've seen her doing ice skate. I promise I'm going somewhere with this. I've seen her ice skating. She's graceful. She's spinning around. She's doing flips and stuff. It's like the polar opposite watching Mo Salah. He couldn't be more rigid, less graceful. He doesn't move smoothly. It's like everything is in 1 frame per second. He can barely move. He can't dribble past anybody. Alisson would be skating around everybody beautifully, doing all the little dances with her ice skates on. If Salah played in ice skates, he'd probably be better than what he's playing in now. He cannot be worse. That said, somehow he scores a goal. He got a massive helping hand from the goalkeeper. I don't know how on earth the goalie didn't save that. 5 minutes before it, he made a worldy save. But somehow it went in. That was great. We got back to 1-1. I'm thinking, here we go. Salah, you've been absolutely crap the whole game, just dribbling into players again and again and again and again and again and again. You get the point. Let's go on and win it. We get a break. Here we go. We've got a break. We're flying. Roll back the years, Mo. I'm yelling it over TV. Roll back the years, Salah. Roll back the years. Szoboszlai is making a charging run. He's like a steam train coming through. Honestly, he's flying. That was a great run by Szoboszlai, who, you know what? Maybe a 3 was too harsh for Szoboszlai because he did some good defensive work on the recovery runs tonight. I don't know how much credit you want to give that. Maybe it's more than a 3, but anyway, he's making an offensive run here. All Salah has to do is lay him in. It's so easy. All he has to do is lay him in. I've got a fella at work who sits next to me, right? And all he does every Monday, he shows me the videos he took of his 7-year-old kid playing footy every week. He shows me. And you know what? He loves it so much, and he thinks I love it so much that I genuinely have started to enjoy watching it. I didn't care at first one bit, but he's so passionate showing me these shite clips of his little child playing footy. I quite look forward to seeing what he got up to at the weekend playing against these local Sunday League teams. And I swear to God, I've seen clips of his 7-year-old son play passes that Salah tried to play tonight and make them happen. Because how he doesn't get that past to Szoboszlai and get us to win that game, I will never know. I will never know. I will never, ever, ever understand it. It's just awful. I don't know if I can ever watch it back. I think something I'd rather do than watch that attack back. I'd rather have full body plastic surgery by Ray Charles, I think, than watch that back. It was just awful. What do I even give Salah? What do I even give him? I think 2. Even despite the goal. So can you imagine what he was getting without the goal? Oh my God. Ekitike, very quiet. I don't want to get onto Ekitike really. I don't think he was great. The one thing I will say about Ekitike tonight is he made a great turn towards the end. By the way, he's the only player who looks like they can ever run with a bit of pace. I will say that about Ekitike. The only one, apart from Szoboszlai, who when they make a little burst, it goes fast. And when he does it, I'm actually surprised. I'm actually like, oh, hang on, is he allowed to do that? He's running fast. Is that allowed? Well, anyway, he makes a little spin tonight, turns around, and their fella tried his best to shove his head right up Ekitike's arse. I mean, he grabbed his shirt so bad, he was trying to gag in his shorts. It was unbelievable. And Ekitike, I would not have held it against Ekitike if when the ref finally gave a foul and Ekitike couldn't quite shake him off, if Ekitike just started ground and pounding him like he was, I don't know, Anderson Silva. Did he do a lot of ground and pound? Not really. He was a striker. Someone else who just grounds and pounds. Khabib Nurmagomedov. If Hugo Ekitike just went full Khabib Nurmagomedov on one of the many buenos when that fella grabbed his shirt tonight, I wouldn't have blamed him and got a red card because it was despicable. And then it happened 2 seconds later and the referee just went full can't see you like he's in Bird Box. He just put his blindfold on, couldn't see that one, had his shirt nearly ripped off, no foul. 3 for Ekitike tonight. And we'll go to Cody Gakpo, who did the most inexplicable thing I've ever seen on a football pitch in my entire life. I could not have been angrier when I saw that. Oh my God. In fact, the first time I saw it in normal motion, I didn't even notice what had happened because it's so unexplainably bad that my brain couldn't even comprehend it the first time I saw it as a plausible explanation for what had actually happened on that corner. You all know what I'm talking about, don't you? When Gakpo, the Grinch of football, thieving the joy of all of those who watch it and support him, cleared the ball off the goal line when we were trying to score a goal. It was the most incredible bit of attacking play I've ever seen in my life for all the wrong reasons. He should be jailed. He should be sent straight to jail. Straight to jail for that. It's unbelievable how on earth he does that. I have no idea. For context, Salah crosses the corner in. It was a shite corner, as per, but Ekitike was alert to the situation and flicked it on. And Curtis Jones, who, like I said, I've forgotten, he could have bundled it over the line with his nose, with his eyebrow, with his big toe, his little toe, with his arse. He could have touched any part of his body and it was in the net. There was no one in the way. He was on the line, literally on the goal line. But no. Of course we can't have that. Cody Gakpo, like a bad genie, as though they'd granted 3 wishes, but instead of wishes, they were the worst 3 things you could ever think of in your life, popped himself up like he'd come out the lamp and gets one of his big genie feet and somehow, I don't even know how he did this, hooked the ball away, like he's wearing the Iron Sheik's webs, big curly webs, hooked the ball away from Jones, the most amazing clearance you've ever seen, onto our own bar, which then made it avoid Kerkez. It was, I couldn't believe it when I saw it. Honestly, I could not believe it. I had to check my eyes, take them out of my head, just give them a little rub, check, make sure they were working, put them back in. Sure enough, they weren't deceiving me. Gakpo actually managed to clear that ball. And that's not to mention the rest of his play when he spends the entire 60-odd minutes he's on. Thank God it wasn't 90. Oh my God. Thank the Lord. How he lasted an hour, I don't know. How he keeps starting games, I don't know. He must have the most explicit nudes of Arne Slot that the world's ever seen. But whilst he's on for that 60 minutes, he just spends the whole game committing war crimes over on the left wing. That's what it's like watching, honestly. I can't watch it anymore. I honestly cannot watch it. I would seriously rather someone on just constantly for the rest of my life just plays me the same Nickelback song. Oh, I don't care which one, just pick any of it. The same Nickelback song on like a rusty old stereo that doesn't really work, but it's just dead loud. Just plays that into my ears, just follows me around wherever I go in my life, just playing that one song at me. Then watch a minute more of this absolute muppet on the left wing. He's 6'9" million feet tall. I've never seen him use his body one time. He just gets breezed off the ball. When he gets the ball on the wing, he runs a marathon away from the goal. Oh, I can't handle it with him. I just can't handle it. And no prizes for guessing. It's a 0 for Gakpo tonight. It's an absolute 0. That's the worst I've ever seen. Right, then it was technically Jones, but we'll do him at the end because I forgot to put him on the ratings. Right, Rio. Rio came on. Now, let's be so clear. Rio made a few mistakes tonight with his passing. The first time he got the ball, he passed it to nobody. But my word, if you watch this game and you tell me that this fella isn't better right this very second than Salah and Gakpo, which, let's be honest, admittedly, not hard. I reckon if you went into pretty much any primary school in the entire of the country and picked any child, any of them, and put them on the wings for Liverpool, they'd be better than what Salah and Gakpo are at the minute. But Rio comes on and he's so much better than the rest. He puts crosses in. He put a great ball in for Van Dijk. He should have scored. He hit the post. An amazing save from Jose Sarr. Stopped him scoring a goal. He won a few corners. Yes, he gave the ball away every now and then. And we had 7 million attackers on, so he got counter-attacked. Maybe he could have ran faster at the end when Andre the Giant has Fletch nicely called him. He's about 2 foot tall, Fletch. So how's he a giant then? Doesn't even make sense, does it, mate? Andre scored at the end. Maybe he could have closed that down more. Maybe I'm being harsh. The point is, when he comes on, he makes stuff happen. He's actually an aggressive winger. He runs at his man. He puts balls into the box. He has skills. He has tricks. He can dribble the ball. He had a shot. Like, he looks dangerous. He's like a tiger that's been starved for weeks compared to Gakpo's like a newborn kitten on the wing that can't walk or function. I'm going to give Rio a 6. No, I've typed 7. I'm giving him a 6. Which is fucking good tonight, let me tell you. Robbo came on, like I said already. He's about as dangerous as, I don't know, someone who isn't very dangerous. I really don't know something that isn't dangerous. I've lost all the will to live. He's not threatening. I don't know why he comes on. Honestly, I couldn't tell you why Slot brings him on. It's just completely baffling to me. It really is. Let's not waste any more time. Robbo, 4. He didn't get involved, did he? Gomez, well, he deflects the last one in. I'm not going to blame him for that. It's harsh on him. Deflects it in. He was lining up a shot from 30 yards. I nearly broke the sound barrier when I yelled, no, please don't shoot. And I think he heard me. And then he passed it straight out the play to Salah. So that was good. Took a long throw. We had a towel. That was something. Didn't come to anything, obviously. And, yeah, the fact that we have to bring Gomez on because Frimpong's bones will fall clean off the... Sorry, Frimpong's muscles will fall clean off the bone if he plays a second longer. Like barbecue ribs for hamstrings. When we bring Gomez on, when we desperately need a goal, is just a joke. I don't know how many times I have to say that all year. We have to bring on a centre-back at right-back who's never scored. That says it all, doesn't it? Gomez, 4. And Chiesa... He's just shit. He had a shot. He had the clearance. Neither of them were good. Over the night, he just constantly gave the ball away. He's rubbish. 2, Slot brings him on. He just runs around. He never has a position. Slot's there looking at his fucking iPad all game. What are they playing? Bloody Angry Birds on the... What are you doing, guys? Like, what are they actually looking at on that iPad? I couldn't tell. He's got his bomber jacket on again, like he's going out for tea after. Honestly. And I don't even know if I really blame Slot all that much tonight. I mean, I'm sure right now he's getting absolute pelters, but that performance was just an absolute disgrace. Do we want Jones? I'm not putting him on the board. He was crap. If you really want to know what I gave Jones tonight, it'd be a 3. He's just slow as shit, kept giving the ball away, doing loads of flicks and tricks, and then he passed it to Alisson, who kicked it straight to them for the last goal. And Liverpool have lost. So that's just brilliant, isn't it? That's just what we've all looked forward to all day long. Thank you so much. It's basically midnight already. And now I have to sleep on that. Excellent. Well, all right, guys. That is the player ratings, if I can even get them off the screen. There we go. Do I feel better? Yeah, I think I do, actually. I've got a lot of steam out there. That was just 30 minutes of me yelling at you, so I hope you enjoyed. If you did enjoy, please do click that like button, because that was awful. And we can all have a sort of a safe space here, maybe, to vent out in the comments. So drop a like. We're trying to get to 35. We're trying to get to 500 subscribers. So if you're new around here and you enjoyed, click subscribe. If you're a rival fan and you've enjoyed the rant, click subscribe. All that good stuff. Podcast listeners, thanks for listening. 5-star rating and reviews. There is nothing good in this world as long as Liverpool are in it. Let me tell you that much for free. What a joke. And I've got to analyse that game later this week, which I'll be back for in the coming days. Alright guys, thank you very much for watching. I really appreciate it. And I'll speak to you in the next one. Goodbye.